Mr. Speaker, I thank you for the opportunity to comment on a very realistic and forward-looking budget read on behalf of the President by the Finance Minister. Mr. Speaker, there's an issue that is of a national concern that I want to touch on before I speak about roads. Mr. Speaker, when I became an MP, one day I was there and I was told that the former MP of my constituency was taken ill. I quickly called and I was told that he needed to be airlifted from the whole government hospital to 37. I called Honorable Nitiwu, who was the Minister for Defense at the time. And then within the shortest period, he dispatched a military helicopter who airlifted Honorable Akoli to the Air Force Base and onward to Kolebu Teaching Hospital. Mr. Speaker, I'm saying this simply because the military provide services beyond what we think in our country. So when we are discussing providing support for the military, it is not merely to support them to fight wars. The military provide significant civil support services. Mr. Speaker, I listened last week when colleagues sought to critique government decision to retool the Ghana Armed Forces. In their view, the amount of money set aside to provide 4 new helicopters and then some 2 other aircraft for the use of the military and the executive was unnecessary. Mr. Speaker, I just want to draw attention of this House that it is in our interest to be very cautious and very careful when we make these comments. It is quite interesting that, Mr. Speaker, the side that today opposes this was comfortable, for instance, to spend $97 million on the site of the cathedral. To them, prioritizing the $97 million to dig a hole was better than supporting the military. The same site actually looked on when 1.6 billion Ghana cedi was, basically misapplied at the National Service Secretariat, and they are saying that they prefer 1.6 billion Ghana cedi to be misapplied at the National Service Secretariat rather than supporting the military. Interestingly, Mr. Speaker, a certain, defense minister sat in cabinet when that cabinet approved the purchase of 3 helicopters. It turns out that those helicopters were 50-year-old, in fact, older than that minister of defense himself. The helicopter was older than the defense minister who actually participated. In fact, at that time, a certain minority leader also was around 47 years, participated when those 3 helicopters were bought for the police. Today, Mr. Speaker, 3 helicopters were bought for the police, Mr. Speaker. Nothing comes of it. Cannot even fly from the hangar to anywhere. And this side of the aisle actually supported those things. And yet today, when we say we want to retool the military, they are talking about it. Mr. Speaker, I don't think this is the right way to look at this thing. So I am encouraging them to be careful when we talk about these things, especially if it's about the military. Mr. Speaker, let me come to road. Mr. Speaker, indeed, almost everybody I meet, whenever we visit every community, colleagues, including this morning, come to the Minister of Road and Highways complaining about the nature of the terrible roads in their communities. And Mr. Speaker, that is true. Yes, I agree with you. The road network in our country is nothing that anybody should be proud of. Mr. Speaker, we should invest to improve the roads. But Mr. Speaker, I want to give you a perspective of where we ended up, or where we started from. Mr. Speaker, in 2016, the entire commitment under all the agencies of the road ministry was just 10 billion Ghana cedis. That is all road projects awarded across all the agencies, including Road Fund, was just around 10 billion. And then bills unpaid was just about 7 billion. By the end of 2027, Mr. Speaker, the side opposite left projects contracted at least 110 billion Ghana cedis. And then the bills left unpaid is in excess of 40 billion Ghana cedis. And they look us in the face and tell us that this is a better management of a country. No, it cannot be. Mr. Speaker, as of the time President Mahama took office, more than 90% of contractors were not on site. And colleagues from this side and the other side come to me, Honorable, what will you do? In fact, if you listen to the questions, what will you do to get the contractors back to site? As if we were the ones who asked the contractors to leave site. Some of those contractors left site in 2020, 2022, 2023 because they worked and were never paid. And that is what the situation is. But guess what, Mr. Speaker? The President directed, as the Honorable Minister for Health also said, that no ongoing project should be abandoned. Unlike 2017, when the side opposite took over power, what did they do? They made a policy statement to suspend all road projects, especially Cocoa Road, that they were doing investigation. By the time they finished, and in fact, I remember very well, the former minister stood here and said that there were so many things wrong with Cocoa Roads and other things. Mr. Speaker, I beg to say that today, if you see the Cocoa Road program they left, it is appalling. Mr. Speaker, we will continue and find resources to make sure that all these abandoned projects are continued. And there's one that is dear to my heart. And I wish my colleague, Honorable former Minister for Road was here, Honorable Asenso. Mr. Speaker, when you serve in a high office, a privileged office as a minister, you should conduct yourself as a nationalist. All his examples are as if the road between Accra and Kumasi is the only road in the country. It doesn't sound well as politicians when we have tunnel vision about development in our country. Mr. Speaker, where you come from, Upper West. Mr. Speaker, you wouldn't even dream of driving from Accra to Wa because it's one of the most terrible roads in our country. Because it's been abandoned for years. And people say that there's no traffic on that road. How can you have a traffic on the road that is completely abandoned? What kind of traffic are you expecting on the road between Bolga and Wa? Because it's nothing to write home about. That is why President Mahama has put together a plan to, one, retire the debt we owe contractors. So for the first time on record, at a single payment, he paid over 5 billion to contractors who are owed about 40 billion. Mr. Speaker, that cannot clear the debt. But that is a significant amount of money for a government that came to power, cannot borrow anything. So we are going to continue this. And guess what? All these payments went to contract that were awarded before we took over. That is a government that is determined that not again should we have a situation where government abandon projects. Mr. Speaker, the other thing I want to talk about is the big push. Again, my colleague actually sought to make very unfounded statements on this floor. For instance, that the big push projects do not have feasibility. Mr. Speaker, I put it on record. Every single big push project has a full feasibility report as required by the agency under the Ministry of Finance. So when you are a former minister for road, you should speak with credibility. So I hope he was here. I would have offered him the opportunity to withdraw and said that he didn't get it right. Exactly. Mr. Speaker, he also sought to say that all the big push projects are sole source. Mr. Speaker, that is also not right. That is also not right. And if you serve in that office, you should be able to speak so that you can be believed. Mr. Speaker, this is the fact. The President's big push projects are not merely road projects. They are intended to create access through the major corridors of our country. The Eastern Corridor, the Western Corridor, the Central Corridor, and then the Northeast Corridor, and some of the ring roads in our country. Mr. Speaker, I'm happy to report this morning that all these corridors that I've mentioned, contractors are already on site and working. I heard him saying that we will not be able to complete it. Where is the source of fund? We have already allocated 13 billion Ghana cedi for the phase 1, which is this budget. Mr. Speaker, I can tell you that 13 billion actually exists this morning. Any contractor working under the big push who raises a certificate this morning will be paid. And I want to encourage contractors to continue. In the 2026 budget, we set aside another 30 billion to make sure that even next year, when contractors raise certificate, they will be paid. Mr. Speaker, I'm dreaming of the day that you can drive, not because you cannot fly, from Accra through Wenchi, through Sola to Wa on an asphalt road. That is what the President is thinking of. And that is what is going to happen by the end of 2027. So those naysayers who say that we are not going to be able to do it, of course, there were people in this country who said that Ghana cannot get independence, but we got independence. Yeah. When Akosombo Dam was supposed to be built, some people actually told Americans, don't fund them. Today, Akosombo Dam is there for all of us. Even when Terminal 3, the Kotoka Terminal 3 was about to be built, they said it's a waste of money. Today, the duty-free and other shops there belong to some of their relatives. Yeah. So it is not unusual for a certain group of people to always doubt the capability of Ghanaians. And I'm telling you, Ghanaians are capable. We are going to be able to build these roads. Under President Mahama, you will drive on asphalt road from Wenchi through Sola to Wa, and this is going to happen within 2.5 years. Mr. Speaker, there's also an issue of abandoned projects. Mr. Speaker, the reality.
Yes, Honorable Minister, Honorable Dr. Amwa is on his feet. Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My respectable friend and a brother, Honorable Minister, has made a statement that per order 122 content. This is an august house of facts and figures. He made mention that when His Excellency Kwame Nkrumah was trying to construct the motorway, he was told by some people that Americans were told by some Ghanaians that they shouldn't finance it. This is a serious statement. I would like my minister to substantiate what he said, because this is an august house. This is where we make laws. This is where Ghanaians are taking a lot of pieces of information for their decision-making processes. So I would like my honorable minister to actually provide the source and how credible it is, so that we can also correct this in the near future. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker.
Yes, Honorable Minister, is demanding evidence to support the statement you made with regard to the construction of the Akosombo Dam.
Mr. Speaker, I will provide that evidence in due course. No, Mr. Speaker, I did not only mention that. I started by saying that there were citizens of this country when Ghana under President Nkrumah wanted to have independence. They said it's not yet time. I'm wondering why he didn't even worry about that one. Then I went ahead and talked about the fact that yes, Dr. Nkrumah's attempt to build a dam faced challenges here. Mr. Speaker, I'm happy you recommended somebody to sell some books to all of us. I'll table that the reference from that book, Mr. Speaker. Oh, of course, Mr. Speaker. I didn't want to mention names of those people, so I'll continue, Mr. Speaker. There's also a question about why a particular project, Accra-Kumasi bypasses, are not being completed. Mr. Speaker, let me put it on record. President Mahama's government never asked any contractor working on the bypasses on Accra-Kumasi to stop work. Indeed, I called all the contractors and encouraged them to continue working. However, what they told me was that at the time of contracting, the time they were asked to go to site, they were not shown details of the alignment. And this was told in the presence of the finance minister, that they flew a drone and showed them a drone image of the alignment. When they got to the site and they started working, they saw Galamsey peaks and swamp areas. So as we speak, Mr. Speaker, almost all the contracts, the prices have more than 100% increased. And this happened in 2023. Unfortunately, the side opposite made no effort to actually capture the variation. Today, as we speak, we are being told that we need another 3 billion or so to be able to complete the bypasses on Kumasi Road. And President Mahama is doing that. Indeed, one of the sections has actually been completed and taken over. We intend to make sure that in stages we complete the site on of the Accra-Kumasi Road. Mr. Speaker, there's also an issue about the Accra-Kumasi Express way. Mr. Speaker, this project...
Yes. Just a minute. Yes, please.
Mr. Speaker, thank you once again. Because my honorable, respectable member could not substantiate the credible source needed for such important piece of information. I would like the statement to be expunged until he does so, because we can't keep any piece of information here that we cannot substantiate. It's extremely inimical to the performance of our republic, and we need to do that.
Mr. Speaker, one of the books.
Honorable Dr. Amwa, if I have to apply this your rule, I don't know how many of you can make contribution on this floor. You may disagree with him. He may provide some evidence. You may disagree with that evidence, because these are records that some people kept, and they are actually in books. And some of those records are having partisan colors, and you need to investigate into them seriously. So you start looking at what weight to attach to this evidence, and that kind of. This is not a trial. And that is why usually in these cases we allow the debate to flow. That is it. If you have anything beyond that, then the avenue is different from the plenary session of Parliament. So please, let's move on. And Honorable Minister, you have a few more minutes.
Mr. Speaker, one of the books I would have recommended to my colleague is a book entitled Dark Days in Ghana by Dr. Nkrumah. I'm sure when you read that book, you will notice that, because there are so many things, Dark Days in Ghana by Dr. Nkrumah. Mr. Speaker, there's also talk about why they need to build an expressway from Accra to Kumasi. Mr. Speaker, I think we should have done that many years ago. Mr. Speaker, we should have done that many years ago. Currently, if you want to drive from Accra to Kumasi, you are faced with a journey of over 250 kilometers, and through communities that have overgrown and encroaching on the road. The bypasses alone cannot solve the problem. We are creating a new growth pole. And Mr. Speaker, already halfway through the study, we just realized that we can cut that journey to under 200 kilometers. Imagine what 50 kilometers means to the fuel tank of an average person. It means that 40% of the travel time can also be taken off. How can you tell me this is not important? Mr. Speaker, not only that, once we are able to determine this alignment, the idea is to put alongside a railway, which is finally a high-speed train from Accra to Kumasi and beyond in the future. How can you say this is not important? Indeed, you spend over $100 million under the so-called Buankra Integrated Logistics Terminal, which is in the bush. Nothing is being done because no transporter is ready to move goods from Tema on the road and take it to Buankra, and then somebody from Swami will now come to Buankra to clear it. If you can get to Buankra, you would rather take it back to Kumasi itself. So this project will actually unlock the potential of the Buankra Integrated Logistics.
Honorable Minister, your time is up.
Mr. Speaker, can I plead for the same 1 minute you gave to my colleague?
Yes, 1 minute to
Mr.
conclude.
Speaker, I just want to recap that two issues I came here with. That, colleagues, when we are talking about the military, when we are talking about the armed forces, today, you forget that you have, some of us have police people following us. Even if we go to the grocery shop, they follow us. All this costs money, and providing the necessary support for them is very necessary. Let us not trivialize the issue of retooling the armed forces. It's very critical. And Mr. Speaker, we will work together with our colleagues in this House to make sure that all budgetary allocation made on behalf of the Ministry of Road and Highways is applied to improve the road network in our country. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker, for the opportunity.
Honorable, yes, point of order.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker,
With all due respect, I'd like to correct an impression being created by the Minister for Roads. He is creating an impression as if the
Honorable Member, you rose on a point of order.
In fact, Mr. Speaker.
Now you are correcting impressions.
Mr. Speaker, I was
What is the order that has been breached?
Mr. Speaker, I was up already for a very long time. I couldn't catch your eye.
You caught my ear.
Oh, I was rather trying to catch your eye.
Because you said point of order.
No,
so
I did not say
turned
that.
And then I saw you on your feet.
Mr. Speaker, I did not say that. I did not say point of order.
Honorable Member, please. You said point of order, and I just want to hear your point of order, the order that we have breached. If it is not a point of order, the rules are clear. Oh, point of clarification or elucidation. Then I'll listen to you. But to argue with me, you can't win this battle.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Obviously, I can never win a battle against you. There is no way I can do that. But point of clarification, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, the Honorable Minister for Roads created an impression that the NPP government did not do anything to retool the Ghana Armed Forces. That is palpable falsehood. In fact, retooling of the Ghana Armed Forces was done to the extent that at a point when we wanted to acquire a long endurance vessel for the Ghana Navy, my colleague from the other side of the aisle actually rejected it when even IMF gave us an opening to do that.
Honorable Member, that is not point of order or point of clarification. When we come to your turn, you put that across. There are so many things that are in our heads, but we allocate it in such a way that we try to give you some time to also say what is in your head. So please, I'm sure that your name will be submitted. Let me check and see whether your name is there. The name is?
Mr. Speaker, unfortunately, my name is not there. I've been ill for some time now. And so I couldn't even give my name out. I was scheduled to be here on Friday, but I was taken ill, so I couldn't do that.
Oh, sorry.
Thank you.
Because we have about 13 members from the minority side and the same number from the majority side for today. And so a lot more will be contributing.